Yes. Good morning, Priyanka. Good afternoon, Priyanka.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Am I audible now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. Hmm. Right. In today's class, we discuss about resolutions. Then first, we'll move to the next topic, winding up of a company brand. Because from that, from the examination point of view, whatever important that we'll discuss. Okay. Okay. So, so here resolutions. Resolutions means whatever the decisions are taken in the meeting, those meetings we call as a resolutions. As in previous class, I told that the resolutions are those meetings generally for various decision makings, directors, shareholders, and class meetings will be conducted. And these meetings, if any, generally to talk the relevant matters of those meetings will be discussed in the routine and in general. But apart from that routine in general, any special decisions, important decisions are taken by passing of voting, uh, polling system, voting by the members. Then the decisions are taken, means those meetings will be called as a resolution. So in simple say, decisions that are taken by the company in a meeting we call as a resolution. Okay. Mm, so these the resolutions, we have three types of resolutions: ordinary resolution, special resolution, resolutions requiring special notice. Okay. Mm, so ordinary resolution. What does it mean by ordinary resolution? Resolutions which are taken in a general meeting, in the matters relating to the appointment of directors, appointment of auditors, then declaration of dividends, appointment of selling agents, or removal of a director, or issue of shares at a discount. Presently, this shares at discount is not there. Issuing shares at discount also abolished by the new amendment, Companies Amended Act 2013. But generally, okay. So these kind of, in order to issue the bonus shares. Okay, so to discuss these matters, general regular business matters, which are not going to affect that much the business, these resolutions will be ordinary resolution is enough. That means with the ordinary majority of members, decisions can be taken. Generally, even for the resolution, this ordinary resolution, 21 days notice must be given. Okay. And has to be this notice has to be sent to all the relevant members by post or by personal. Okay. And who can what is the majority means? If mm, ordinary majority means if 100 members are there, with 51 members also they can pass the resolution and take the decisions. That is more than 50% of the meeting attended, if accepting the decision proposal, then decision can be taken. So in the meeting, a proposal will be raised, and that proposal has to be accepted. A voting will be conducted based on that proposal. The number of votes cast for the proposal are more than the number of votes cast against the proposal, then decision will be taken. So this ratio is 50%. Then more than 50% votes are cast for the proposal, then decision can be taken. So for that, that means a minimum required number. So this is a ordinary resolution. Okay. And in the ordinary resolution, the proxy also can participate, because he can vote on behalf of the member. He only cannot raise his voice or express his opinion, but he can vote on his behalf of his member. So proxy can also be counted for this voting. The next one is that special resolution. A special resolution, as per the section 114 of subsection 2A, says about special resolution. To conduct the special resolution, certain conditions has to be fulfilled. That is, first, the intention of conducting a special resolution must be mentioned in the notice. Means in the general meeting only, they'll conduct a general meeting, unlike extraordinary meeting. In the general meeting itself, or sometimes they'll conduct, means the purpose of this meeting or the decisions require proposals has to be mentioned in the notice, highlighted, and a 21 days notice must be provided, and vote cast in favor of the proposal must be at least 3 times more than the vote cast against the proposal. Then only decisions can be taken. Okay, when we call a special resolution, first of all, let us see what are the decisions can be taken. See, these are the decisions. These are the decisions which affects the organization. That's the reason why these to take these decisions, they should pass a special resolution. Special resolution means a vote cast for the meeting must be 3 times more than the vote cast against the proposal. Understood? So then only these decisions can be taken. So let us see what are those decisions require special resolution. Alteration of a memorandum of association, alteration of articles of company, or reduction in the share capital, and to issue the sweat equity shares, change the name of the company. Actually, alteration of memorandum of means part of the name of company change, also part of alteration of memorandum. Okay. Payment of interest out of the capital, request for central government to appoint an investigating officer to look into the affairs of the company, and appointment of an independent director, issue of differential writings, and the removal of an auditor. These are the important decisions which requires passing of what you call which requires passing of the special resolution. Okay, so whatever, because memorandum of association, in memorandum of association, whatever we have seen in the previous class, whatever the clauses are there, name clause, objectives, situation, in liability, any of these clauses, change in the information provided in the memorandum affects the entire affairs of the business. That's the reason why, while taking the decisions relating to the change in the clauses of any of the clauses in the memorandum of association, needs to be passed through special resolution. If a company wants to change the name, it needs the special. If it change its objectives, needs the special resolution. Change its capital, means especially when company wants to reduce the capital. Increase in capital won't affect, but reducing the capital affects the shareholders' interest. That's the reason why reduction in the share capital, change in the name of the company, these needs the special resolution. Similarly, articles of association. Articles of association means it's based on the internal. Articles is for the internal affairs of the company, right? So if any change in the articles of association also needs the special resolution. So because these are the important aspects of business which affects the functioning of a business, so they need a special resolution. Means what does it mean? It means that proposal to change any of these must be accepted by more than 3/4 of the members attending the meeting. Okay, then only a decision of changing can be taken. That is a special resolution, a 3/4 of majority. Resolution, decision proposal, which requires 3/4 of majority members acceptance, that is called special resolution. And within 30 days of passing the special resolution, a copy of this resolution has to be sent to the Register of Companies. Okay. And the next one is, yes, who can vote? The proxy can vote in the special resolution. Okay, by proxy, by ballot, or members can pass their vote there or cast their vote. Okay. The next one is resolution requiring special notice. Means a decision which cannot be postponed till the conduct of a general meeting, till the time of general meeting or extraordinary meeting. Then send a special notice to all the members concerned, and the decisions will be taken by conduct of meeting. A resolution requiring special notice. That means resolutions which require special notice. That means the decisions which need to be taken and which cannot be postponed till the next meeting will be conducted immediately within the period of 14 days, so 21 days or 14 days. For this, actually, a 14 days before notice has to be given. Okay, here for this special resolution requiring special notice, they need to give a 14 days notice. Okay, and this notice must also contain the purpose of the meeting that they are conducting. They contain purpose of the meeting that they are conducting. Okay. The notice also, there are also 14 days means sometimes it may not be possible to reach all the members. So if there is no time, they must give proper, this notice must be published in a well-known newspapers. Okay, that in order to reach the all the members through mails. Now we got mail system, so through mails can be posted in the website of the company also. So why? What are the situations that makes lead to conduct of this kind of special resolution with a special notice? There's say for example to appoint an auditor uh, in place of the retiring auditor, or to express resolutions that retiring auditor shall not be reappointed. If a retiring auditor is going to be reappointing, then the members don't want him to reappoint again. Then to express that they don't want the retiring auditor to be appointed again, and they want some other new auditor, then also they must give a special notice and will take the resolution. Director, removing a director before if a director act of any director are not according to the rules and regulations, and not a fair deal he's conducting, and the members felt that that director has to be removed, then removal of any of such directors due to their misconduct, then also where special resolution will be conducted. Appointment of any other person or the director in the place of the removed director. So when the members feel this director has made a default, so he has to be removed, or when the members feel the auditor has to be appointed immediately, there's something going wrong and this auditor has to be appointed immediately, but not the retired director, reappointing the retired director, then also they can call for a special notice. So that whenever they feel there is an urgent of conducting a meeting and take the decisions immediately, and which cannot be postponed till the next meeting, these by giving a special notice, resolutions can be taken. And for this conducting of the resolutions, the members should pass a notice 14 days before notice. Okay. And they should this notice should be sent either personally, through email, or in a well-known public newspaper. And in this again, 3/4 of majority need to be accepted. Okay, 14 days, give members notice at least 7 days before the meeting. 14 before the notice shall be members company earlier than the 3 months, but at least 14 days before the meeting, resolution is to be moved. Okay. Then yes. What is this? Educate some law excellent. Special notice shall be given company such number holding not less than, yeah, who can give this special the resolutions with a special notice? Members who are holding not less than 1% of the total voting power. Holding the shares means any member who is having a voting right, and okay, and whose voting whose aggregate of share value is above the 5 lakhs rupees can be called, can be eligible to call the resolution with a special notice. Okay, that's about resolutions. 3 types of resolutions. Coming to the minutes. Yes, how these minutes are drafted. We discussed this. Minutes are after the meeting requirement, prerequisite after meeting, which is a record of maintaining the proceedings of meetings held, right, and the decisions taken. So these minutes generally is an official record of a company where the meeting proceedings of meetings are recorded. But while drafting the meeting, one should remember certain important rules as per the act. So first is meeting minutes must be, means it's simple, the precise way, in a simple and precise manner, minutes, the proceedings of the meeting has to be given, and every company must record these proceedings of meetings in the minutes book, and before immediately within the 30 days of the meeting, and every page must be numbered, every meeting must be numbered in a consecutive order or chronological order. The next, each page in the must be signed. After recording the proceedings and numbering the meetings and the page, every page, these whatever the recorded information is that has to be signed by the chairman. Usually it's the authenticating chairman of the meeting, along with the date. And the next thing is that, yes, sometimes companies may keep the loose leaves, means sheets rather than a book. Then these sheets also must be numbered and typed. Each page must be signed by the chairman, and these loose sheets has to be kept in a safe, in a properly filed manner, and they cannot maintain these loose sheets more than 6 months. Okay, any matter which is not clear, the next book shall kept registered office of the, yes, this all we discussed in the previous class also. This minutes book must be after completing this procedure requirements, means recording the proceedings of meeting in a simple, and then taking the numbering meetings and every page, and taking the signature of the chairman of the meeting. This all everything must be done within the 30 days of the meeting, and after that this book must be kept available for the reference of members in the registered office of the company. If a company any fail to do so, this maintenance of a minutes book, they will be fined up to 25,000 to 1 lakh. Okay, that's about our this topic. Priyanka, I hope you understood.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Our next work is winding up of a companies. Here, what is winding up of a company? What are the consequences of winding up a company? And what are the legal aspects to be followed, observed for winding up of a company? Okay, now we are going to learn under this. So what is winding up of a company? Means closure of a company. In a simple language to say, closure of the business entirely. Okay, so this is a process which involves in giving an end to the business. Giving an end. Generally, in accountancy, you learn a business continues for a long period of time. It never closes. But due to certain circumstances, various business entities, some business entities based on the nature of their business when they come to an end, and some business entities due to various other reasons may need to be closed, means ending, putting fully stop, fully stop to the business of that particular company. Then is the winding up, we say, the process which involves in this winding up of company, that all we can also say dissolution of a company or a firm. Okay, and this process is to be followed according to the Companies Act rules and regulations. And there are various definitions given about the winding up of a company. As per the section 2, subsection 94A of Companies Act 2013, winding up has been defined as winding up under the Act or liquidation under the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code 2016. Yes. Okay. So it can be, you can call it as a winding up, or this winding up can be by court act, or by liquidation of the company, or due to the insolvency of a company or bankruptcy of the company. Anything when you put a full stop to the life of the company, we call it as a winding up. So various authors have given various definitions. You can take whichever is easy for you and can follow. The next one is winding up and dissolution. There is a difference between the winding up and a minute difference between the winding up and liquidation used interchangeably, but the legal implications of these two terms are different. So let us see this. Winding up means what? It's a stage of closing of a business which involves selling off your assets, and whatever the proceedings you receive from those assets, sale of assets, will be used to repay the liabilities. Dissolution is what? It's a final stage. Totally, a company comes to an end by the law. Okay. The procedure, how it is, in the winding up process, generally liquidator will be appointed, and he takes care of the entire process of winding up. In the dissolution orders, by the order, means it's a company, court itself orders, and will issue, means dissolution takes place by the issue of court order. The liquidator, so in winding up means planning with the understanding or with the intention they are going to close. In winding up is, so it involves process. So there takes place of appointment of a liquidator who undertakes the entire process of winding up. So this liquidator will exist in the winding up of a company, who undertake the entire process till the dissolution of the, till the last procedure comes. So liquidator cannot represent the company in the, because liquidator here by court order, right? That's the reason. The next, debts. Creditors can prove their debts. In winding up, creditors will have a, that is what in the beginning nature we said, assets will be sold, and the sale proceeds of assets will be used to repay the debts. So creditors can say this is what our clearly can be measured, what is that. But in the winding dissolution by court order, generally when court order to close the business, then disputes arises. So some says this company has to pay me this, when there is no proof that how much to be paid cleared by the company to the it's a defaulters. So there is no proof. Proceedings, generally any person can proceed against the company which is being wound up, and in case of dissolution, no proceedings are entertained. Okay, because it is based on court order, and winding up is with the intention of the company when it would like to close the business and end the life of the business, will start doing with an appointment of liquidator. That's the reason why proceedings can be undertaken if any objects. But in case of court, court itself only ordered you to dissolve your business. No other person can proceed. Okay, that's the difference between the winding up and dissolution. And reasons why do company go for first of all, why after doing such a big business and a long life in the market, why do companies go for winding up? What are the situations that lead to winding up of a company? If you look into that, the first one is established has been accomplished, means the purpose for which a company has been established, that purpose has been accomplished, then company may go for winding up. Take an example of a construction company. A construction company established with an object of constructing so-and-so number of buildings in particular area. Once that construction work in that area is completed, then automatically it is up to the company to wind up its business and take off, right? So that is establishment. When the very purpose of establishing the company has been accomplished, then the company may go for winding up. The next one is when company is unable to carry on its operations or main objects. Say, for example, a company which is entered into infrastructure business or pollution control system, and after a certain period, when it finds it's getting very difficult to bring these pollution control measures and make the people adapt to that, and it feels it's means getting day by day difficult, instead of getting improvement and getting it's going to losses, getting into losses, and better we wind up, then also company may go for winding up. Means when it feels these pollution control measures are very hectic or expensive and taking long time, and it's getting difficult, and which is not in their capability, then the company can go for winding up. The next, when company disposes of its business or the undertaking another company or individual. Yes, generally these mergers and acquisitions takes place. In case of mergers and acquisitions also, when a company goes and merge with another company, the first company which is merging with the other company will wind up, means a new company will start. In such case also, that is in simple to say, in case of mergers and acquisitions also, companies may get wind up. Now the existing company will be wind up, and then business will be new business will be started. Okay. Yes. The next thing is that when company is unable to pay its creditors in full, as a default, means when company gets into liabilities. Okay, when company get into liabilities, then also, and it finds clearing their creditors is getting difficult, then also company may feel to wind up its business. Okay. So one, I can randomly say what are the reasons when the purpose of establishment is accomplished, the company go for winding up. The next, when a company feels that carrying of operations is getting difficult and it is unable to carry its business operations, then also it may go for winding up. The next, when company dispose during the times of acquisition, mergers and acquisitions, companies may go wind up, may need to be wind up. And when company is in debt, indebtedness, bankruptcy, when becomes bankrupt and not able to pay its debtors, then also it may go for winding up of a company. Okay. Yes. The next one is that different types of winding up. What are the various types of winding up of a company? What situations a company may go for winding up? Yes, if you look into this again, there are by Companies Act, there are basically two modes: compulsory winding up by the tribunal and voluntary winding up by the company. Means companies may voluntarily wants to wind up, like when they accomplish their purpose, or when they feel they are not able to reach the objectives of the business, they may go voluntarily. Compulsory winding up by tribunal means when company becomes bankrupt, or when this during or when it company becomes bankrupt, or when mergers and acquisition takes, automatically they need to be wind up. So let us see first about the voluntary winding up. Again, under voluntary winding up, there are two modes: members voluntary winding up, creditors voluntary winding up. Okay. Under winding up by tribunal, you have a certain rules to be observed. Compulsory winding up, which is a compulsory winding up, compulsory to be wind up as per the tribunal. Yes. the condition. If a company wants has to wind up by tribunal, there are certain conditions to be followed. First, company need to pass a special resolution, okay, regarding this uh, compulsory wind up by the tribunal in that special, okay. The next, company has to act with the interest of the, means it's not that just you get wind up, with the interest and sovereignty and integrity of the company secured, it should go by maintaining proper foreign state relations. It should go for a winding up, like it is not that, because a company means which is in a long run, which also will have a foreign relations, and it needs to maintain foreign relations, and also need to uh, see that the country in which it is serving should not, its sovereign integrity should not get affected. So a company which is acting mm, against any of these uh, has to be go for winding up tribune by tribunal. Next, on application made by the registrar, means for tribunal winding up, they should made an application to the registrar, and some person from the central government will be given, okay, and will be appointed. Yes, involved in the formation of management. They should one conditions. Company may want up. Yes, tribunal. When a tribunal will ask to pass the, means through, because of tribunal's order, company is going to wind up, means tribunal also should not give just like whenever it feels due to someone's pressure, or some when feel by its opinion. It's not that it declare the winding up of a company. There are certain conditions. Only under such situations, tribunal should order for winding up. So what are those? First, resolution. Special resolution has to be passed. Is a special resolution passed or not by the tribunal? That should be looked up. Second condition is that company tribunal should order for winding up of a company only when it feels that company is acting against the sovereign interest of the country and affecting the foreign relations of the country. Then it can order for winding up. The next, third one is register. If the tribunal's opinion that affairs of company is not good, means it is carrying on a fraudulent activities and unlawful purposes, it's carrying its business, okay, in such case also it can order for winding up of a company. The next, if a company make a default in filing any provision, in filing documents with the registrar as per the provisions of the Companies Act, then also the tribunal can order for winding up of a company. So altogether, there are four conditions where a tribunal can order for winding up of a company. One, it should see company has passed the special resolution, resolve the company to wind up by the tribunal. Second thing, if a company is going against the interest and sovereignty integrity of a in country and foreign relations of the country, affecting the foreign relations of the country, then it can order for winding up. The third thing, if a company prove to be conducting fraudulent activities or unlawful business activities, then also can order for winding up by the tribunal. And if a tribunal feels that the company failed in filing with the registrar and following the provisions of Companies Act, then also it can go for winding up of a company. Okay. As next, yes. Again, each of these have been explained here. The next one is minority operation. Yeah, there are some cases of being given. These all cases are related to foreign cases. Loss deals with the point loss of substratum. Yes. What is loss of substratum? You must know this. Short answer sometimes they may ask Priyanka, are you there? Deadlock
Yes.
management, loss of substratum. You must have the knowledge of this. What is you when you get these short answers, you need to write along with this case study. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Deadlock in management. What is deadlock in management? Simple incompatibility between the majority and minority group is not sufficient ground for winding up. So tribunal orders for winding up when there is a complete deadlock in the management. That means, see, for winding up a company, the in special resolution, when the majority is not that difference, generally special resolution means 3/4 majority must be there, right? So instead of that, with a simple differentiation, instead of 74 are accepting out of 100 members, 74 are accepting, and 26 are not accepting. It doesn't. So here, as majority is not there, means both the yes and no parties, both the parties are on their strand and not moving a little bit ahead also, and enabled fail to take the decision to wind up, then the tribunal will enter, and that condition is called as deadlock movement. Okay, management means both the parties of the management are not are standing on that point, and getting difficult to get the required majority. In such case, that kind of situation we call as a deadlock management. In such case, tribunal will enter and take the decision of a winding up of a company. That for that, here an example has been given. Yeah, what is it? Energy Tobacco Limited. Okay, the names are highlighted. W and R were only two shareholders and also directors of a private company. Some serious differences arise between these two, and both one is want to wind up the company, and the other one don't want to wind up the company, and they both, because of the misunderstanding between the both of them, they are not undertaking the pursuing the business and taking the necessary actions required for the continuation of the business. Then the completely there is a deadlock between the deadlock of management in the company. So tribunal interfered and has taken a decision of issued an order to winding up the business. Understood? So it's a simple. The next one is loss of substratum. What does it mean by? When the object for which the company was formed fails or becomes substantially impossible to be carried out, it is said to have lost in its substratum, a temporary difficulty which does not knock out the company objects and purpose may not be permitted to become a ground for liquidation. Yes. Loss of substratum. In the beginning, I said construction. Say, for example, a company established to construct their buildings. Okay. See, a company. Yeah, I can give. I'm just thinking, can I give that or not? Which company was formed, fails, or becomes substantially impossible to be carried out, it is said to have lost its substratum. Temporary difficulty which does not knock out company objects and purposes may not be permitted to become a ground for liquidation. Which company was formed, fails, or becomes substantially impossible to be carried out, it is said to have lost its substratum. Yeah. This is, say, for example, a company came forward to build its an infrastructure company, sorry, construction company came forward to build its building on a floating building and some river, on some river, say, for example. Then it came, they established, everything has done, but when it failed to bring that, carry that, say for example due to its technical loss, or due to its incapable technology, or failed to prove its strength of their building on the floating building, then they may need to, they're not able to fulfill their actual purpose of constructing that building on a floating building on a river. Then it needs, the company is not in a position to close it, then this uh, management, sorry, tribunal will enter and ask for winding up the company. Loss of substratum means the object for which the company has established itself has failed, and it is not possible means to construct that itself only in that particular place. That is called loss of substratum. Okay, or say for example the river which it planned to construct as now the has got drained due to lack of rains and all. Where do they get? They need to shift again. But the everything that the documentation, registration, recognition, everything has done in that particular place. So that first they has to close there, then only they move to the other place where the river is available, right? So that way, loss of substratum. Here some case has been steam navigation company. A steamship was formed mainly with the object of acquiring the business of a firm engaged in plying steamers. The business was acquired, but later, due to serious differences between the two, 7 out of 9 steamers acquired were returned. A shareholder filed a petition to the tribunal for the compulsory winding up of the company on the ground of loss of substratum. The petition was rejected since the company could purchase more steamers and carry out its original objects. Yes, this one you can take the example. And I also said one example that a company who proposed to build a floating building on a river, as okay, and when that they came forward, everything has done, but finally when the concerned technician or the concerned technology, what they said is they failed to acquire the technology from the delegates or from the foreign company or the vendors, then the very purpose of construction of building will not be achieved. So that in that case, they can go for closing, winding up of a business. Any shareholder can file a petition to the tribunal saying that the company has to be wind up compulsorily because there is a loss of substratum, because they failed to acquire the technology, or they failed to acquire the what do you call, in that river itself got dried, then need to, there's a purpose itself has been what do you call, purpose itself is failed, so they cannot construct and they must go for the compulsorily they must go for a winding up of the company. That way you can explain. So these two you can expect under the short questions. Okay, next. List all not necessarily relevant that kind of case studies will be. The next one is voluntary winding up. So here we have seen these two under the compulsory winding up by tribunal, under the two types of winding ups, right? Compulsory winding up by tribunal and voluntary winding up. Compulsory winding by tribunal, we have seen what are the conditions when tribunal can order for winding up, and under the compulsory winding up, we have seen different situations. Okay.
Ma'am, what is tribunal?
It's like a body of what do you call code, penal or court body. I can say right. Tribunal. I say tribunal is a body of people who from the court. A body of the people who is acting for, on behalf of the court. Body who are acting on behalf of the court to as a in order to undertake the proceedings of the court. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
The next one is what do we have? Yeah, voluntary winding up. Voluntary winding up is that members voluntary winding up and creditors voluntary winding up. So when the members can go for voluntary winding up, when there is a difference arises between the members and creditors, they can go for voluntary winding up, declaration of solvency. What we called? Yes, members disputes between the members, differences between the members arises. They go for voluntary winding up. Then because of members differences, creditors are not necessary because if they paid up properly, the members themselves can voluntarily wind up the business and by paying the creditors. If both want to go winding up, means both the creditors and members wants to go for a winding up of a company, then they'll appoint a liquidator. Okay. And this liquidator will undertake the proceedings of a winding up of the company. That means he will undertake where selling of all the assets and whatever the proceedings, sales proceeds he receive, using those sales proceeds for repayment of the liabilities in a order as specified in the Companies Act. And finally, if anything left, that will be distributed to the members in their capital contribution ratio. Okay. Now here is the declaration of solvency. Means what? If a company wants to go for voluntary winding up, then majority of the directors has to be declared that the company is going to be dissolved within the 5 weeks from the date of the resolution they passed. And they must also inform to the registrar. Okay. What is the procedure involved in that? Solvency must be declared as per the provisions of the Companies Act, and they must conduct a general body meeting and pass the special resolution, because it's this all see special resolution. Winding up is not that easy task. It involves so many members and their interest and shareholders' interest. So obviously it needs a special resolution. And any means winding up of the business must be as per the provisions of the Companies Act only. And for that, again, for passing the special resolution regarding this, they must give this notice of 14 days notice and must also advertise in the official gazette and newspaper. Okay. And also they must, when they are going for a liquidation, voluntary liquidation or the winding up, they must appoint a liquidator with a remuneration and must, okay. Then once the liquidator is appointed with the remuneration, the board of directors lose their powers and authority. Okay. That is in a proper language, their authority, their powers will be seized. Then the liquidator will come into picture and he will get the powers of board of directors and he takes care of entire the proceedings of the winding up of a company. And then in case of creditors voluntary winding up, the proceedings are the creditors again must conduct a meeting immediately after general meeting, and in which special resolution has to be passed. And then the directors are required to prepare a statement of affairs and the list of the creditors, statement of claim, means what are the total creditors, what are how much their claims related to the company must be presented by the directors in the creditors meeting. And in creditors meeting, a special resolution has to be passed and liquidator will be nominated by the creditors. Okay, in that special resolution. And this liquidator appointed by the creditors will act as a member and take all the proceedings, look after all the proceedings of the liquidation of a company. And here also liquidators remuneration will be fixed in that creditors special resolution meeting only. Okay. Once the company is closed up, he is generally this liquidator is responsible to take care of this dissolution of company within a 1 year. Winding up of company must be completed by him within 1 year. Yes. This is petition for winding up of the company, commencement of winding up, compulsory winding up. Yeah. You can expect this under short notice. Sorry, short questions. Difference between the compulsory and voluntary winding up. Compulsory winding up is by court order. Compulsory winding up, liquidator will be appointed by the court. Voluntary winding up by the understanding of the members or by the creditors of the company. No court. But this under this liquidator will be appointed by the members. If it is by members, by the court, by creditors. If it is a creditors voluntary winding up. So in case of compulsory, court will appoint the liquidator. So winding up both the places, liquidator will be there. In case of compulsory, court will appoint. In case of voluntary, members or the creditors will appoint. And what is the procedure for winding up of a company? This you can expect. What is left? Compulsory winding up. What is the compulsory winding up? Means, no, it's a repeat, I think. So special resolution by must be passed, and if any default, this is a repeat. Company failed to begin business within 1 year, and the number, yeah, compulsory winding up is that means implied, means if a company fails meet so the company's act provisions that are required to be followed, it automatically says to be wind up. A number of members are reduced. So what kind of situations that lead the company to cease? What are the provisions if company not followed? The company is said to be wind up. The forcible winding up. Forcible, not compulsory, means by order of court itself only, Companies Act itself, not court, I'm sorry. By order of the Companies Act itself only, if the company fails to do so any of these, then they go for the company and go for voluntary, compulsory winding up. So what are they? If a special resolution being passed, stating the company should wound up by tribunal. And the tribunal ద్వారా special resolution pass చేసి company wind up చేయాలి అని tribunal order చేస్తే it's must. They should go for winding up only. అలాగే if a company fail to send the statutory report to the registrar or fail to conduct the meetings, then also say company established 2 years over, but it failed to conduct the meeting, like 15 months after first year, they should conduct, right? If a company failed to conduct the meeting or failed to send this statutory report to the registrar, then also company has to be wind up. Law says you must wind up. That's it. If fail, you have to wind up. The next, the company failed to begin the business within 1 year from the registration or postpone its affairs for entire year. So company registration over, that is incorporation over, but more than 1 year, it's still not started the business. It's still waiting to start the business. It's no affairs has started. No, it had not, does not enter into any transactions relating to the business. Then also it forced, the company is forced to wind up as per the law. Okay. The next, members are reduced to 7 in case of public and 2 in case of private company. Yeah. A company, to start a company, there's a minimum number of directors requirement is there. So this minimum number of directors are not there. How can you do the business? How do you take the decisions? How do you manage the business? Right? So in such case also, company is required to follow the business has to be wind up as per the Companies Act. Okay. So if a minimum number of directors missed also, company has to wind up compulsorily as per the law. The next one is if company is unable to pay its, yes, of course, if you are not in a position to pay your debts on time as per the to your creditors, then also automatically court will order you to close your business. Finally, as per the opinion of the court, the company is not doing equitable justice and not running in an equitable way, then it may order to wind up the company. So these are the reasons for winding up and difference for the winding up. And finally, procedure for winding up of a company as per the new regulation. If you see, yes, first company they should submit a declaration to register of companies stating that company is going for liquidation. For giving the reasons, they must give the reason why they are going for liquidation, because the purpose intention of liquidation is not to injustify or not to fraud your stakeholders. The next one is within 4 weeks of such declaration, a special resolution company has to pass and get the approval for the voluntary liquidation and must appoint the liquidator. So it has to pass. So first, registrar, they must submit a declaration to the registrar, the purpose of liquidation, and that should not be defrauding the any of the members or the person. Second condition, within 4 weeks of the submitting the with the registrar, they should find special resolution. They should take the decision to proposal to voluntary dissolution. At the same time, appointment of the liquidator should take place. The next, within 5 days of the approval, public announcement must be made in the newspaper or the website, inviting the claims from the stakeholders. Once they conduct the meeting and take the special resolution and decision has been taken to wind up the business, from that date, within 5 days, they should inform to all the stakeholders through publicly and must collect their opinions. Okay, invite their claims. If any stakeholder has any objections, their claims from those are called objections from the stakeholders or claims. We say the claims from stakeholders has to be invited. Means, do you have any objection? This is on so and so date we conduct the resolution and we have decided to wind up the business on so and so date, and we are inviting the claims from the shareholders for any reason. Then stakeholders, if anyone having their claims for objecting for the winding up of a company, will come forward. So they must be invited. It should not you take the entire decision and close the business. Next, within the 7 days of approval, intimation should be given to register of companies and board. So first you should inform, and within the 4 weeks of declaration, you should conduct the resolution. One resolution means you have taken the decision. So once the approval has been made, then again you should inform to the from the date of within the 7 days of approval in the resolution, you should again inform to the register of companies and board. The next one is submission of preliminary report containing a capital structure, estimate of assets. Yeah, this once after proceedings, the actually decision has been taken to liquidate the business and the liquidator has been appointed. Then the next step is that your estimations, whatever a preliminary report with the estimation of your assets and liabilities, everything has to be submitted within 45 days to the liquidator. The next one is you invited the shareholders to give their claims for the winding up of company. So if any such claims are received, those has to be verified within the 30 days from the stakeholders, and within 45 days, those claims has to be heard and cleared. The next one is receipt of money due to corporate person or any banks and or anything or that there has to be voluntary liquidation after this person have for receipt of money due to corporate person bank account needs to be opened in name of corporate person having words. Yeah, yeah. Now see, during this liquidation process, this liquidator, whoever is there, he become the authoritative person. He becomes the powers, and he will take care of selling the assets and the repayment of to the debtors. Sorry, repayment to the all the debts to the creditors. So here now company is not going to exist, right? You are selling your assets, you are selling your everything and making payments. So who will do this, on whose name you do? So here this liquidator comes, but this liquid on the name of the liquidator it takes place, but under that it should be mentioned involuntary liquidation. Okay, that liquidator's name, after the liquidator name it should be written involuntary liquidation, means he has become authoritative person in this process due to voluntary liquidation. Okay, the next, sale of assets and recovery of due money uncalled capital is realized. All these details must be given. Proceeds from realization to within 6 months. Uh, Within the 6 months, by selling the assets after repayment to all the payment of all the creditors and all the dues, the whatever the leftover amount that has to be paid back to the shareholders within 6 months. That means within the 6 months, everything has to be disposed and payments has to be made, and these stakeholders has to be get back their leftover funds in their ratio. The final report of when everything has been done, right? He sold, he cleared the made the payments and distributed to the shareholders. Now liquidator's job is done, but they before he say that his job is done, he must prepare a final report and must submit to the register of companies and board, and also to NCLT, application to NCLT. NCLT means National Company Law Tribunal. I think so. Well, let me see. Okay. Yes, exactly. National Company Law Tribunal. He should for these his final report he must submit to all these persons. Corporate person means on behalf of company whoever, and then register of company sector, and then board and application to the National Company Law Tribunal. To all these people, he should submit this final report. Once that is over, the NCLT will declare that the company has been dissolved within the 14 days of this order. That's about winding up requirements, the procedure. Yes, Priyanka?
Yes, ma'am.
So, Priyanka, first unit, this is about our syllabus. If you look into this, I'm just moving on to this one. Yeah, here, the first block, you don't leave any topic, okay? Because types of companies, what is incorporation of a company, what are the documents to be filed at the time of incorporation of company, and what is memorandum of association, what is articles of association, what is prospectus. All these questions are important. Surely you'll get these in short as well as in long answers. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
And coming to the next unit, and these are as per my opinion based on the previous question papers. Okay, I'm not insisting you to do study only these. I'm just giving my idea of important questions. In the second unit, you can learn about position of directors, corporate governance. One second. Yeah, short corporate governance. What is corporate governance and objectives of corporate governance? Um, and difference between the corporate governance and social responsibility. Coming to the directors topic, yeah, duties of the directors and position of the directors. Okay, provisions, no, mm, duties of director, the liabilities of director towards company. You can learn that. The next, coming to our next topic, secretary. Qualifications of a company secretary and you whole time company secretary. These you can prepare, which I did not cover actually due to the time limit constraint. And then coming to this next unit under the meetings and resolutions. The company secretary also there, no? And this company secretary, functions of company secretary. Functions and role of, you can take these two hardly. Okay. The next one, coming to the meetings. Under the meetings, again here you have three types of meetings, right? What are the prerequisites of meeting, valid meeting, and what is ordinary meeting, what is extraordinary meeting? Prerequisites of a meeting, you can learn. Under the prerequisites of meeting, as I explained you about each of the prerequisite in detail, you learned also. So that helps you in answering short answers. What is notice? What is quorum? What is minutes? Okay. So under prerequisites of meeting, whatever you get, all those you learn and as a long answer and in detail about each of those prerequisites of meeting. So that helps you in answering short answers also as an individual questions. So under prerequisites, you'll come across of notice, agenda, proxy, quorum, minutes. 5 you will get. About these 5 in detail, if you learn under this question itself, you will be able to answer one long answer and 5 short answers, whichever it gets in the exam. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Next, types of meetings. Under the types of meetings, you have yes, for every meeting all those prerequisites you can mention. Okay. Under the extraordinary general meeting, the types of meetings, board meetings, shareholder, actually mostly you get a question on shareholders meetings. After that, board meeting. Okay. What are the different types of shareholders meetings and what are the different types of board meetings? Under the resolutions, you learn about special resolution. You learn about special resolution. Okay. And legal provisions for drafting the minutes. Coming to the last unit, I think I already told you under this topic while explaining only. Short answers, winding up and dissolution difference, voluntary winding up and compulsory winding up difference, and then what do you call I just explained you just now. Procedure finding up of a company, and then after reading these important questions, at the end of your book, you will find one assignment. Okay, Priyanka.
Okay,
That
ma'am.
assignment also, you please, that assignment questions also, you please go through.
Okay, ma'am.
Short answers, everything. That assignment also you cover and answer for yourself. That helps you at least two questions, shorter, two longer, some fill in the blank objectives you will get in the examination. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
So once you cover this, you just attempt the assignment also, whatever is given at the end of your work. See, this is the assignment model question paper. So
Okay.
answer these model question papers. Once you complete your revision preparation, you answer these model question paper questions. So surely two from each section you will get.
Okay, okay, ma'am.
Generally, we used to do. Okay, take some questions also from the last question paper, whatever is given in the textbook. Right? Yeah. Very all the best to you, Priyanka. Very, I appreciate your regular attendance
Thank you, ma'am.
and hope will continue the same
Yes,
in
ma'am.
our next session also. Right. All
Ma'am,
the best, Priyanka.
thank you, ma'am.
So you cleared all your previous semesters, Priyanka.
Yes, ma'am.
That's very good. Very good. So are you
Ma'am,
working?
you have any idea about textbooks?
You don't have textbook.
No, ma'am. Till now, we don't have textbooks.
Generally, they will send you now.
Yes, ma'am. But in head office, they are not there.
Maybe you do one thing. If you just first you communicate with the university people, okay, talk to them. Otherwise, after you get the response from them, you let me contact you contact me once.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay,
Okay, ma'am.
right.
Thank you, ma'am.
I'll give my notes. Okay,
Okay.
right, ma'am. But first you approach the university. Surely they will be sending your materials, okay, by post or something. So you contact them first, talk to them, listen to them. So let me know what the response you got, okay, and
Okay.
I'll do my best.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Right, Priyanka. All the best.